Okay, so day two, start of day two, it's 9:22, and so this will be almost 36 hours in. It would be 36 hours at 10, so almost 36 hours in. Quick update. So last night, around 11 or so, I was up until about 1 o'clock, and I was having a bit like that. I was having like a little bit of like a spike in my hunger, um, or hunger, sort of. But like I was having cravings for like food and things like that, and that I pretty much just like decided I was just gonna like lay in bed and just like watch some videos and stuff. I watched some Switch, and I was playing games on my Switch, which actually you see right there. Here's my Nintendo Switch. I got the Binbach Joy Cons in the blue and the Animal Crossing color, and yeah, if you guys are, some of you are into games, yeah, I have that in my free time. That's usually what I do when I'm not riding my bike. I'm usually just playing games or on my computer. Yeah. So that was last night. Right now, I feel pretty fine. I haven't had anything to drink. I am going to have some of my water. I'm going to add some salt, which actually, by the way, the salt that I use is this Redmond's Real Salt, not sponsored, but I like their salt. It's supposed to be, as the name says, like a real salt. It's not supposed to have like any like microplastics or anything like that in it. So I use that, and I'm gonna try using that because the last time I did a fast, I was using pink salt that I got from uh, Wegmans, and for some reason, I don't know if that was the cause, but for some reason, every time I have that salt when I have like an empty stomach, I do notice it's sort of like rubs me the wrong way, or it just makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm gonna try just using the Redmonds and see how I feel off of that. I have some electrolytes that I'll probably take as well later on during the day. But today is going to be a pretty chill day. Like I mentioned previously, I'm trying to do better with like not putting too much stress on my knee. So I'm probably just going to just do some like light stuff around the house, and maybe I said I was gonna put some like stuff on eBay. I didn't do that last night. I honestly didn't feel like it, so I'm gonna do that today, and that's where I'm at right now. So actually, let's get a little bit of a weigh in just to see where I am at right now. It's 36 hours, almost 36 hours into the fast, and we're at 20 or 257.2. So about 3 pounds, and that's mostly probably water. And it's definitely got to be a little bit of fat as well, since I was working out yesterday, so I was burning fat as well. Um, but yes, that's where I am at today. So one thing I did want to mention is that I think there are a few people that are like kind of apprehensive of like weighing themselves every day. I do it especially when I'm fasting just as a metric to see where I'm at and where things are going. I usually have an expectation. I know that the scale will move a bit. It's just a matter of how much it moves depending on what I'm doing during the day and things like that. So yeah, so that doesn't really bother me. Like there was a point where I was like a little bit obsessed with like getting on the scale every day to see how much I weighed and things like that, and it was getting to me at a point. But when I'm fasting, it's a lot different for me. It's just having that sort of reference point of like, okay, this is where the the downward trend is going, and then I could just like notice, like on days where I'm not as active, I'll be like, okay, yeah, so I wasn't as active, so that scale's not going to go down as much because, I didn't need to burn as much fat as the days where I was a bit more active. So that's just sort of how I view things. So yeah, that's just a bit of a reference for why I tend to do that every day when I'm fasting. All right, so it is 1:25. So I'm trying to keep busy, and by keep busy, I mean get stuff done that I've been needing to get done for a bit because I've been sitting on this. So I'll show you guys here. Alright, so here's the other thing. Look at all of these tires that I have actually ridden and am looking to get rid of because I'm just not using them anymore. And these are a lot of tires, and adding up how much all of these cost, it's kind of ridiculous, and I do not recommend going through all these different tires especially if you're the one paying for them. But so let's just start from smallest and work our way up. So here are my Resolutes, 700 by 42. As I've tested these are technically the fastest tire that I've ridden. But mostly these are also the smallest tire that I've ridden. I do not like running 40 millimeter tires or below, and even these 42s felt like they were too small for the riding that I wanted to do. But yeah. And then I have the Venture 50s. This is actually the SG2. If you can see that there, that's the SG2 model. And I got these thinking that would be doing more. It would be a lot better for like road to gravel. I think these work better on gravel and they're okay on road, but that's my opinion. And then I have the Victoria Mezcals. I believe these are the original model of the Mezcals that are tubeless ready. And ironically enough, these are also the slowest version of the Mezcals. And I found that out when I was riding these on pavement for almost 30 miles in a group, and I was pretty much suffering for most of that time, and it was not a fun experience. So yeah, I've replaced these tires. These were on my tough road, and I replaced these with some Gravel King slicks, and oof, night and day difference between rolling resistance. Speaking of tires that I've replaced for my tough road, I have the Ardent and the Race TTs that I had on here when I had my tough road set up with 29-inch wheels. And as I've switched my bikes around, since I have a bike that can take larger tires, overall, I didn't really find a need. Mainly the Race TTs, these are a 2.0. I didn't find a need to have this tire around anymore. The Ardent is a pretty good tire from what I am aware of, but I just decided that it was time to switch it up. So that was that. And then these big baddies, the Butcher and the Black Diamond Compound. These are 27.5 by 2.8. And I got these because they were on sale, and I thought that I would just get a 2.8 tire that is tubeless compatible to replace the tires that came with the Diamondback Sinker, which were not tubeless compatible. Oddly enough, also those were wire bead, and they had a lighter sidewall than these, and oddly enough, they weigh the exact same. So I got more like sidewall protection and things like that, but then I realized I didn't really need that durable of a tire for the type of trails that I was going to be riding with my Diamondback. So yeah, got the smaller tires that were lighter casing, so that's what I'm doing with that. In any case, I just want to reiterate, please, if you're like me, don't buy these many tires and go through them. I have a problem of not being able to figure out what tire I want to run. So this is a pretty expensive problem to have. So yes, learn from my mistakes and just try and do enough research to figure out what tires you need and then just stick with them. So I said I wasn't gonna ride my bike today, but oops. So when I wrote this yesterday, I was able to get a better feel of like how everything was working out, and I decided to tweak some stuff. So with the fork, what I did, I actually added a bit more air into it. I actually had it at, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says the max PSI should not exceed 110, and I think when I checked it, it was at 105. So I kind of actually went a little bit more and put it up to 120 psi because that should be fine. Honestly, I've ridden these above their pressure and I had no issues with that. The other thing that I wanted to do is mess around with the brakes. So as I have it set up right now, the brakes are engaging there. That's when they're actually touching the rotors. So, and I believe the left brake is the exact same way, or the right brake. I mean, this is the left brake. So I'm gonna tweak these a little bit, but this is the beauty. This is why I like running these Spire brakes, is that I can just mess with the barrel adjuster here, and that should give me some better braking. And actually, let me look at this from the rotor, and there's still some space in between there, so that's not an issue. And then let me just get a feel of the brakes here. So they are coming into contact a little bit sooner, so that's good. So I'm just gonna adjust the rear and I'm gonna take this out. The other thing, I did not mess with the air pressure in the tires. I felt like these are good pressure. Also the wheels themselves, I did cover this a bit, but these hubs are pretty low spec. These are like road hubs, so the engagement is pretty bad. And I don't even think I'm getting the ones that I'm getting to replace these. The rims are wider, and the hub engagement, I don't know what it's going to be like, but I'm assuming since it's going to be a mountain bike specific hub, that it's going to be at least better than this hub. So I'm just gonna have to wait and see. But then these tires are gonna go on that, and then I'm going to run my Race Kings on these wheels. And yeah, overall I really like this bike. Like, just look at this, this is so cool. Alright, so I finished riding and I actually ended up going to the grocery store and got some food because I didn't really have any food at the house. So I'll at least have that later. Even though I don't really intend on eating, obviously, I still feel fine. I also got a bunch of water. Well, not a bunch of water, but I got a decent amount of water, so I should be good for the rest of the day, I think. Okay, so it's around 5:37, and I noticed I was starting to feel a little bit tired. I was sitting down at my desk, and I was dozing off, so I think it had something to do with, it was like, it's pretty hot today. So I probably like sweated a lot and lost a lot of electrolytes still, even though I had like a huge thing earlier before I went out. So I'm actually gonna have some more right now, and I'm gonna check back in about like a half an hour to see how I'm feeling. Alright, quick update is 6:31. I had a bit of, actually I had most of that electrolyte stuff. The actual, if you were wondering what electrolytes I was using, I'll maybe post them in the description if you guys are interested in wondering what I was using, as well as the salt maybe, but I think you guys already know what that is. But overall I do feel a little bit better. I'm not as tired. Maybe it was just like a little spike of like not having energy, and I just needed a second to recover from that. So that's all that. I got some stuff put on eBay, some of my tires. I actually still have a lot of the tires already on eBay, and I just had like a few that I didn't put on there. I have to wash the butcher tires, that's for sure, because they're still a little bit dirty. And yeah, that's about it. I have to uh, change my tires on the wheels that I was running on my Kona because I'm going to have to put the Race Kings back on there since I'm probably not going to be doing any more trail riding anytime soon with that, at least right now, while I'm waiting for the other wheels. And then I can set those, though they're already set up tubeless, but I actually did get a little thing for that wheel set. So this is a used 11 to 42 11 speed cassette, and I'm gonna throw that on that wheel set in particular because I want that wheel set to be more road oriented, so I don't need the 46 if I'm doing a little bit more road riding on that. But look here. So I'm actually trying to get a new wheel set built up for it, and I'm using DT Swiss's calculator for hubs. I currently have my uh, rim in here, but what I'm also thinking of is there is the Velocity Blunt SS's, which has the exact same ERD as these rims. So I'm plugging in, I'm thinking about getting the DT Swiss 350 hubs because I believe they can be run with quick release. Because you can see like the rear hub is 135 to 142, and then and then even if that front one isn't specifically quick release, I could probably just get a quick release adapter that will just slide into the through axle slot. And I'm thinking about getting a wheel built up. Now, honestly, what I would do is try and get the wheel that I'm currently running rebuilt to work with the new hub and the new rims. I don't know how much that would make sense, but I would have to check and see if I could reuse those spokes. That's probably going to be the one hurdle. Otherwise, I'd probably have to buy new spokes as well as the hub and the rims, which the hubs are pretty much going to eat at any, like if I have any budget for this, the hubs are pretty much just going to eat that right up, especially the rear hub. I think the rear hub's like $200. I think I can't really find it anywhere cheaper, unfortunately, so that kind of sucks. But that's what I intend on. Like, I'm thinking about doing that. Let me know what you guys think, if that's like a stupid idea for me to just get like a new wheel built. I think if there's like another stimulus check that goes out, which I keep seeing like things pop up, I think I will use that on getting that wheel built. That's sort of what I'm thinking about doing. So yeah. All right, so we are back in the workstation, i.e. the basement, and as you can see, I got my Diamondback all flipped over, and I currently have, you can see I already have the wheel off. Currently, my plan with this, as you can see, it's lost a bit of air. I got my tubeless tape. You can see the other tire. Look at this. I don't know how well that's gonna, yeah, that has very little to no air left in it. So I got my tubeless tape, 40 millimeter for 35 internal width rims, which these are. So that's gonna be set up. I got my orange seal endurance sealant, which, by the way, I had the top lost to this, which I didn't actually lose. I had it up here on top of this non-functioning fridge. The top was like right here, and I didn't think that that was the top to this. I thought it was like the top to one of my bottles, that I've had around here. I thought the top to this was white, and it wasn't. So I was like, I didn't have the top on this for like a week because I thought that I had the wrong top. But yeah, and then I have some new valve stems that's going to go on these wheels. As you can see, I don't know how well that's going to show because my shadow is kind of blocking everything. Let me move over. I apologize. So as you can see, that is pretty short. That's been annoying me so much. So I got some valve stems that I believe are longer. I believe these are supposed to be 44 millimeters long. And so I'm going to put those on there, and we're also going to, whoop, I almost tripped over my bike. No, I'll keep that in there. But I am also going to be putting back these Continental Race Kings. Let me just lean these over. These are the Race Kings, and these are the black chili, the 29 by 2.2, as you guys can see. And I rode these tires the other day, and I did my little 10-mile test ride that I would usually do when I'm testing a tire. And let me tell you, these are so fast. I was surprised at how fast these were, and I knew I shouldn't have been surprised because from people that I've talked to, they said these tires are fast. From Bicycle Rolling Resistance, it shows these tires being fast. Also, these tires are pretty light for a 2.2 tire, in my opinion, because I've been seeing 2.2 tires in like the 700 gram range. These are less than 600 grams. Yeah. Speaking of Race Kings, you see this Race King tire? This is the Pure Grip compound, which is the much cheaper version of the Race King, and they're much heavier. I do not recommend these at all. You know what? I'm going to just do this on the fly because I wanted to make this point abundantly clear. So this is the 27.5 by 2-inch version of the Race King in the shield wall. So let's look at how much this weighs compared to the 2.2 29-inch Race Kings. And this is, you're just going to be blown away by this. There we go. So kilograms. Alright, so 27.5 by 2.2 Race Kings. These weigh 655 grams. This is only accurate to about 0.005 units, so it's probably somewhere in between. It could be anywhere between 600 and 660, or 650 and 660 grams. But yeah, you can see that's still pretty heavy for a 2.2-inch tire, or a 2.0 tire in 27.5-inch size. Now we're going to take the Race King in the 29 by 2.2 size, and as you can see, like, this is still pretty well supported. Like, the one difference that I'm noticing is that the tread seems a little bit more squishy, I guess, compared to this. Like, it's definitely a lot stiffer in the tread. Although, granted, I did puncture one of these before, so puncture protection is not perfect on that. So let's just look at the size of this and comparison. 595 grams. Now I believe I have the more accurate measurements of these sizes, or of these tires, but as you can see there, these are so much more lighter than the other side or the other versions. I honestly do not recommend buying the Pure Grip shield wall version of the tires. Also, every single one of the tires that I had that were the Pure Grip sidewall have had an annoying amount of wobble to them. So like that tire has some wobble to it. There's another tire back there, if you can see that. That one has wobble to it. These ones from my testing don't have any wobble, although I'm going to have to uh, check and see if any wobble has developed from when I took the tires off. Because I noticed when I took the tires off is when it's really started to develop some wobble, so I don't know why that's the case, but that's just a quick note from me. I realize I've been rambling quite a bit, and that's just the nature of me getting back into doing videos like this. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else that... Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I needed to test one of the valve stems to sort of compare to see if the size is actually larger than one of the previous valve stems that I've been using. So I'm going to check that really quickly. Oh yeah, I'm not doing all of that stuff today. I'm probably gonna space that out over the week because I don't like doing a whole bunch of the entire slew of bike mechanic stuff in one sitting. That's just not how I like doing things. So uh, that's gonna have to wait. I might vlog that entire process. So I guess we'll wait and see. Okay, so quick update. It's like 8:30 or something like that, and I got a doctor's appointment at 8 in the morning, so I'm gonna be trying to get to sleep pretty early, so like within like the next 2 hours or so. Overall, how I'm feeling, I am having like little like spikes of like cravings for food and stuff like that. And it's usually around like this is supposed to be the like around the time where like those cravings are like the worst. So I'm gonna see how I feel when I wake up, and then in the morning, obviously, and throughout the day on Monday. So that's all. That's about it for today, honestly. Overall, I still feel fine. It's just, yeah, those little hunger spikes just come and go. So I'm just trying to, thing is keeping myself actually like not distracted, but like trying to disassociate boredom. Like a lot of the things, like it's partial cravings, partial boredom. That's kind of making it to where I would want to eat something. And I'm just trying to disassociate like boredom with hunger and eating. So that's where I'm at today. Guess that's day 2 of my 3-day fast.